Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Laura, and today we're going to do the tutorial for the embellishment book that I did a walkthrough of this winter themed one. It's really nice and chunky. You can fit a lot into one of these. I've used these several times to send out goodies to people. So this one's going to be Valentine's Day themed because that is coming up, and I wanted to do a little bit of Valentine's crafting as well. So I'm using Sweetheart Day. This is from, I believe, a couple of years ago at Michael's. It's not too old, but it's not the newest one. So just so you know, that's what I'll be using. And I pre-cut everything in the Essence of Time. So you will need some 110-pound cardstock. You can use thinner cardstock if you would like. I think the 110 holds up the best, especially if you're going to be packing it with a lot of items. And so let's do the cover and the signatures first. So for the cover, you're going to need one sheet of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 11, which is generally the size that it comes in, but I encourage you to just measure it out as well because some of them may just need to be trimmed a little bit. And then these will be scored at 4.5 by 6.5. So this is your cover. And then the inside signature, this one will measure 8.5 by 9 3/4. And then on the 9 3/4 side, you're going to score at 4 3/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, and then let's cut our mats for the pattern paper, also just to get that out of the way. And then also this will give you an idea of if you want to use different sheets of paper for each mat, or if you want it to be cohesive. You'll need 4 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. So 2 are going to be for the outside of the cover, 2 for the inside, and we'll assemble that together. And then you'll need 2 that are 1 3/4 by 8 1/4. So those are going to be the inside and outside of the spines. So like I said, if you want it to be cohesive, then you will want to think about which pieces of pattern paper you want to use first. You can mix and match if you want to do something that's like one of those full page scrapbook papers that have a nice seam. Once you lay the book open, it'll look really nice, nice and cohesive too. So let's see, these are going to be my outside cover. These are going to be my inside cover. These are going to all be my signature pages. And then the inside covers, these signature pages, you're going to need 4 that measure 4 1/8 wide by 8 1/4 in height. And then 1 strip that is 3/4 wide by 8 1/4 tall. Okay, so let's assemble these. And before you start applying your pattern paper, if you want to add your ribbon closure or seam binding closure, now would be a good time. I like to kind of measure out the middle, maybe eyeball it. So middle should be right about here. And I'm going to use some red line tape. You can use any double-sided tape. And I'm just going to put a little mark that's not going to show on the outside. And you want your seam binding to be roughly 8 inches, maybe a little longer. And that's when it's not stretched out. So stretched out, it's going to be like maybe 9 inches or so. Okay, so let's put our mats on. So we're going to get the ones that are 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. And I think we decided this is going to be the outside. So yeah, I think this is nice. I think I did cut it out in the order that I was saying. So I did this one, then this one, then that one, rather than cutting this one at the end. And you can see how it's cohesive there. Doesn't really matter. You're not really going to see it when it's closed up. But if you're someone who likes details like that, that's when that would matter. Okay, so I'm going to apply these and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the outside cover, and these are the mats for that. And we'll do the inside cover pretty much the same. Now, the reason I like to do all the matting first before you assemble your embellishment book is because you may put on the signature and then cover this up and forget to put the spine piece. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. It'll just be plain, right? You won't even need that if that's the case. So I'm going to assemble these and then I will be right back again. Okay, so here's your inside cover. And I'm going to leave this flat. I'm not going to crease it just yet because it'll help me line it up better once I put, once I'm ready to assemble that. So this I'm also going to apply, but I'm going to show you quickly. So let's see. This is going to be the inside. So your spine is going to match this, but like I said, you don't even have to have matching things. So only if you want it to be cohesive, that's how it's going to look. Okay, so I'm going to apply these here, and then these on the back. You're not going to need anything for that because that's not going to show. That's going to be fully glued down into your book. Okay, so here is the matted signature. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and fold these. I like to fold them, I guess, opposite of the crease. So like this is the part that I scored. Well, opposite of the score, I should say. So this is the part that I scored. I like to fold it into that bump that's there. I don't know, I feel like things line up better when you do that, especially with this thicker paper. Okay, so let's line this up. Now, we're gonna put a lot of glue on this, so you'll have a lot of wiggle room, but you also want to have an idea of what it looks like when it's centered. Because there's going to be a lot of glue on this, you'll also have time to stand it up to see how it lines up. If you need to get the edges together a little bit better. But, okay. It's a moment of truth. Alrighty. You can also make little tick marks on here, which would be fine as well because you're not going to see them because everything is the same height. Okay, so here we go. So that's there. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to feel it with my fingers to make sure that it's lined up, and I'm pretty sure it is. And I don't want to move it too much because you move one side and the other side moves. But yeah, I think that's pretty good there. And then you can also look at the bottoms, right? Because once you have the bottom lined up, the top is going to line up because this is your time to do it. Okay, and that's good. But we're going to put this off to the side for just a minute. So while this is drying, we're also going to think about what types of pockets we're going to use. I think I'm going to put that 3D pocket here in the back, and I'll make one with you. Let's make a double stack pocket here. We'll do a gusseted pocket here and a gusseted pocket here, and then these can be just open to put other things, so not necessarily even pockets. So let's do double flat, 2 gusseted, and 1 3D. And the gusseteds are going to be the same size because they're going to be on the signature pages. So if you're going to make flat pockets, if you're going to put them on the signature sides, they're going to be 4 1/8 wide. If you're going to put them on the cover sides, they're going to be 4 1/4 wide. Let's Let's make a flat one out of this. So this one's going to be 4 1/4. Okay. So this one's going to be one of the gusseted pockets that's going to go on a signature. And we're actually going to want 2 of these. So let me make sure. Yeah. So both of these can be the same. So let's do, so that's going to need to be 1 inch wider. So you see that here, gusseted pockets have plus 1 inch from the flat pocket and plus 1/2 inch tall from the flat pocket as well. So so this is going to be, because it's on a signature, 5 1/8. Let's make 2 of these. So 2 that are 5 1/8. These all need to have a 1/2 inch score on both sides and 1 bottom. So 1/2, 1/2, 1/2. And these are super simple, just cut through the intersection. You can even miter this a little bit so the white part isn't showing through. Okay. Fold, 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 and then you're just going to glue this on all of these sides directly into the signature, which I'll show you now. So we're going to line this up at the bottom of the pattern paper. Fold in the flaps. And just line it up as best you can. Once you've got it down, then you can go in with your bone folder. Make sure it's nice and adhered. But if you're using some good glue, it shouldn't take much time at all to adhere. So that's the gusseted one on the signature, and I'll do the one on the back, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here are my double flat pockets. You could do just one of the tall, one of the short, 2, however you want to do it. These still will fit a lot, even though they are stacked up. So what I like to do, I like to put the little one on top of the big one first. Get the glue as close to the edge as you can. That way you have maximum space to put your goodies in. And then just line that up. And like that. And then the same here, put the glue as close to the edge as possible. You can even put little finger notches if you want, but for the most part, I think the goodies that you're going to put in here are going to be a bit tall or not hard to fish out. So then you also get that good breaking up of the patterns. This one, because of the pattern, maybe I would have made that a little bit shorter, but really you're not going to see that because of the stuff that's going to be in there. So there's that. There's your flat double pocket, 2 gusseted pockets here. Going to leave that plain. Now let's do the 2D pocket. Now that one I'm going to use the same paper as the last one. And so the side that I'm going to put it on is going to be, that has the pattern paper that is 4 1/4 wide. So for those types of pockets, you need to cut it to be 2 inches wider than the pattern paper that it's going to go on, and then 1 inch higher than the size of the pocket that you want to make. So let's say I want the front of the pocket to be 4 1/4 wide by, how big is this? By 4 tall. We're going to cut this down to be 6¼ wide, because that's 2 inches more. And this is already 5, so by 5. Okay, so 6¼ by 5. Okay, what we're going to do next, so the scoring is similar to the gusseted pocket. We're just going to add an extra 1/2 inch. So let's do the bottom side first. That way we know the direction of the paper. So the bottom side is going to get a 1/2 and then a 1 inch score. Then each of the short sides is also going to get a 1/2 and a 1 inch. Oh, that one's a little off. 1 inch score. 1/2 and 1 inch score. Okay. Alrighty. And what we're going to do, we're going to cut out the 3. It's easier to see back here. The 3 bottom squares on all of these. Okay. Because essentially it's going to be like a little box that folds up. Okay, so we're going to leave this square. Okay, and we're also going to cut straight to make this a little flap. Okay, and let's do our folding. So we're going to fold all of these inward. Okay. Alrighty. Little flap also is going to fold inward. So let me give you an idea. So these are going to fold like that. These are going to glue directly onto the pattern paper or your inside cover. Then this also will fold up. And the little tabs will give it some stability to grab on to the bottom like that. Okay, so let's do one side at a time. Yeah, and you're going to want these to be on the inside. So instead of the tab being on the outside, you want the tab to be on the inside. Okay, so let's do some glue here and here. Okay, so you see that? It's there and there. So we're going to fold it over. And I may want to go in and cut off just a little bit of that score mark so that it's nice and flat at the bottom. Do that before it's glued down. There we go. And it's going to be on the back anyway, so even if you cut it shorter, that's fine too. Just going to hold that in place. And we're going to do the same here. Let me eyeball that. Yeah, that one's going to need to be cut up a little bit more. Okay. So again, glue on the little tab, glue on the corner there. Okay, and again, if you want, just like the gusseted pocket, you can miter that corner, or not even the corner, but the back flap, so that you don't see it as much. Okay, so this is going to go directly on to your album or book. Let's just eyeball it here. So that's how it's going to sit. Okay, so let's put some glue directly on here. So yeah, you're definitely going to want to use cardstock instead of scrapbook paper, because these 3D projects will only hold up with sturdier paper. So right on here, give it a glance on each side before the glue fully sets. looks really good. Okay, so you're gonna go in and push down. And that's all of your pockets for your book. Okay, and then I'm going to do some decorating, and I'll be right back and we will fill up the pockets with some goodies. Okay, so this is the finished product. I decorated it and stuffed it with some things so you could see what would fit in there. Okay, so I did just a little basic dangle here on this side, this cute little butterfly and a heart charm. If I have time for the recipient, I'll make this like a full chunky dangle. I used one of the heart eyelets that I have in my stash, and then I have a heart jump ring. I know I have pinks and reds, so if I can find it, I'll change that out. But here is the cover. I used some of the die cuts that I hauled earlier this week, and I just layered up some of the leftover pieces of paper that I had. I had some of these puffy stickers in my stash from last year. I think they were from the 99. So I used a lot of the puffy stickers in here, and it did add a little bit of bulk to this, but I mean, even with that, it's still, you know, not like gaping. And then I did attach some items with the tiny clothespins, but I like how you can see them up at the top. So, okay, so here is the seam binding closure. Put that up to the side there. Okay, so this first side where we had the double flat pockets, just a little bit of decoration here. You have room for some flatter items. So I've got just some Maggie Holmes planner stickers there. These are some like postcard type ephemera that I got from Temu. This side has these magnetic bookmarks, but I wanted to show you that this actually even fits on this side too. So even items that aren't perfectly flat, that have some dimension, will fit back there. But also that's what your gusseted pockets are for. Just used a basic puffy heart here. And these were the pages that didn't have pockets, so that's where I clipped these items to. I used some stickers that I got in a D-stash, and these are actually like a velvety type sticker. I didn't realize that when I got them, but that's really nice. So yeah, just put some goodies there. And then here again, I have some of the Maggie Holmes planner stickers. I made a little vellum pocket with some pieces of ephemera. It's already closed up, so I'm not going to open that again. But yeah, so those fit quite a bit. Again with the velvety sticker. And then here I just layered up some of the paper from the new paper pad that I have and some more of those puffy stickers. I made 2 little notebooks to put in this larger 3D pocket. So this one is one of those notepads from Dollar Tree. I just made a cover out of 110-pound cardstock, and I just glued it in. I made it like a one and done. You can make it with the band on the back so that they can refill it, but I didn't do that this time. Again, just layered it up with some of the scraps and used one of the dimensional stickers from the D-stash. And then this, I kind of made this into maybe like a little scratch pad or like a notebook. So this is paper from Hobby Lobby from last year. I just hole punched the top so I could add some ribbon as the binding at the top. I scored each paper at the 1/2 inch so it's easy to flip through here. And I added one of these faux wax seals. So the way I did this was so they could have blank pages here, and then the pattern paper, you could see it up top. So I mean, if they wanted to, they could just use the pattern paper, but you have to do it where it's upside down so that they can see the pattern right side up when they open it this way. So yeah, just a little extra thing that I thought I could make to fill up this pocket. And there's even room for a pen. Looks like this is just a gel pen that fits here as well. and it still closes up nicely. So yeah, I hope you liked my project here. These are great, like I said, to make a head, keep them in your stash. If you don't make the pockets, you can just store these flat, and then when you're ready to, you know, send them off, you can figure out what type of pockets you want to make for the goodies that you want to fill this up with. So please let me know what you think. If you have any questions, I will definitely try my best to answer them. And let me know if you would like to make one of these. And if you do, please tag me in your video or on Instagram. I would love to see your makes. Okay, everyone, I hope you're having a crafty day. Take care. Bye-bye.